Come inside, Rabbi Sai. Have some ice cream. Have some ice cream. Enjoy. We're here to have a good time. The Eibishter's beautiful world. I want to thank Rabbi Yosef Yappi, not Torah anytime, Gavash Gacha Pratis, and Kalan Loshin. I want to thank for the wonderful opportunity to be Mezaka the Rabbim. And I want to thank Rabbi Hachman for the ice cream. I want to thank Rabbi Burstein for the goose. We got a giant goose this time. Look at that. Look at this great goose. It's Meididik. Everybody's available. Everybody should eat and drink. The Eibishter still likes happy people. He wants to see people enjoying themselves. Sit down and eat. I know a guy, you know what he does? When he eats a lot. Don't worry. He's always getting depressed, so he eats. So he eats. He's depressed, go eat.
Someone told me,
yeah?
at an ice cream shop, watching people.
Yeah?
So they walk in, they're smiling.
So he said, well, this is for me, the goose. This is all the goose. This is a big goose we got. This is what, Sha'urim, I heard. I thought you wanted me to knock it off. I thought your opinion of me was skyrocketed. I'm ready for that. It's Baruch Atah Eloheinu Melech Haolam Sha'akol Yemedvaroi. David invented schnapps to make people happy. He invented ice cream. You know, I wanted to tell you that there's Anoshim L'Roya Lahem, V'Noshim L'Roya. You know, in Yom Tov, everybody takes what's for him. Men have to have Basav Yain. Ladies have to have big tzavainim. Depends where you live. This kind of clothes, ladies. And kids, players for geizim. I hold, I know you can do what you want, but I hold we should get the candies, that's for us. I hold the candies out for us. We should change the Chas v'shalom. Not going to change the Basav Yain, but if you really want to have Simchas Yom Tov, take some ice cream. What's wrong? You know, I eat lollipops when you get 95 like me. V'ishtatus. You know, the Chazon Ish. No, Rav Shach once gave a kid a red lollipop. He gave him a red one. So they told he says, you know, you're making him an Esav over there. The red, give him red. So he says, nothing wrong. I give him Dafka red, Rav Shach. Red is the color they like, but it's Esav. He says, the problem with Esav is that he still needs a red pop. Even when, blight, but for he still needs a red pop. Okay, it's okay. Nowadays, when you're depressed, go. Whatever works. So Zayin Bossa says, as long as it works, it makes you happy. It's a mitzvah to be happy. You gotta be happy no matter what. Something happened recently that depressed me, boy, not stam. Yeah, I think the Hilton knows. But it wasn't an easy one. So I asked different guys, asked me how to respond to this. I says, you know, I saw a younger man, he never looked so happy. I says, what's that all about? He says, when you want to get depressed, you got to go the other way. Yeah, Moshe Feinstein told this to one of his Talmidim who was depressed. He lost the Chaba. And he said, Moshe said, what are you depressed for? I lost my Chaba. He says, a Yid is not allowed to be depressed. You go on weiter and you steig. Now, Avraham Avinu. Okay, look. All those people that feel, Rabbi Mendel, I tried so hard with Bטחון, it's not working. I tried so hard, it's not working. I tell them, maybe you're Gilgal of Avraham Avinu. Didn't work by him either. I said, no, I'm afraid you're not quite his Gilgal. Because by him it always worked the other way. It boomeranged. It says, Lech lecha mi'atzecha, v'hu v'hira b'aretz. And then, so it gets kidnapped. Isn't that nice, listening to the, having Bטחון, mi'atzecha, mi'atzecha? Watch what happens. With sorry mein Hashem yirachem. As on Meiser, that's, now when he says, Tachnos, Binchos, Yichidcha, Shehavta, And this Nisayan, this is the best you ever had in your life. Right after the Nisayan Akedah, Sarah's Nifta. Isn't that nice? Avraham Avinu's Mahalach. So I have a lot of people. Maybe you're a Gilgal of Avraham Avinu. If I would say that to somebody, it's okay, please, I don't want to be. I don't know what they're going to say. Yeah, don't give me this. You know what I saw before? It's a Gemara. I believe it's a Gemara says that with Ephraim, Abishta promised the marriage to Israel, and now Ephraim drays him a cup. Well, we'll work it out. 400 shekel kesef. You know, he has to handle with this Meshugana, with Ephraim. That he's always getting what he humbles himself to Ephraim. It's yours. And that wherever he turns, it's not working. Now, I'm going to tell you the secret of Avraham. First of all, Hashem Beidach Avraham Bakoil. One who laughs last, laughs best. Beseva Toiva. What's the lesson over there? Recover Beseva Toiva. What? Right after Beseva Toiva, it says that he got everything he wanted. They basically gave him a beautiful. In the end, he got everything. Those who hold on and stop kvetching, hold on. In the end, you'll be fine. What does it say by Eishes Chayil? Vatischak l'yayim acharein. The one who laughs last, those who hold on, the more you know that is a medrash. I have to find that. I think it's Yaakov Shemini, where Yaakov Avinu got together with Yosef after the end of their lives, and Yaakov said, Yosef, I once kvetched, you never kvetched, or the other way around. How did it work out? Someday you're going to look back at your life. Did you kvetch when you had that in the Nisayan, or you didn't? You know, think of it now. Are you gonna have charata? Maybe what I kvetched so much for? What you kvetched? You're here to see how much are you gonna kvetch. That's it. How much are you gonna go saying? How come they have it easier? You were born. They're observing you from Shemayim to see what's your kvetcheritis level. How much are you kvetching? Are you the big kvetches? Everyone kvetches a little bit, but how much are you kvetching? You're able to say someday I didn't kvetch nothing, Abishta. Now you're in business. And in the end, he got everything. He had children. You need patience. Asaph gets everything right away, right? He had alufim way before we had kings, right? And Yishmael is also ahead of it. They're all ahead. They have to get instant gratification. We come live, but look at us today. Jews are news. The Jews, those Jews, it's not like us. The Jews are not shaykh. We have it all. Anyway. I would very much want to. I keep repeating this. I would tell the Yelim, daven your head off. I want to be like Avraham Avinu. Say it. Say it. Abishta wants to hear that. And I'll tell you what to say. Say, Abishta, you, more than all the others, there's a chazal that the Abishta does kafal kach kaviyach, whatever that means. And he says he wishes the world would be full of Avraham Avinu. You see, the Abishta likes Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu in Slabotki, he was in the Vadig, Avraham, Reb Gershon, Reb Avraham. I once said a shot about Avraham, Reb Gershon didn't like it. He almost killed me. He sounded like he knew Avraham personally. He felt, the Vadig wasn't stam. Relationship between Friedrich and Degris. Look, it's up to you. You want to look at it like, I'll say a pshat, and another pshat, and another pshat. They're up here and not down here, but it's no shaykhs really. I mean, we have no shaykhs, I got to tell you something. Sometimes people cheppa. They don't like to say, how could you say such a thing about this gadol, that gadol? Okay. I'd rather go along with them because I agree. But to a certain degree, it's not so pashut. You have to shtay. You have to shtay. You're more important than anybody. Avraham Avinu is sitting in Olam Abba. What about you? I want to be an Avraham Avinu. Abishta, he's doing fine. Now I go. And they're saying nice pshatim. I want to be like him. Daven a lot. I want to be like the Mama Sarah. I want to be like the Mama Sarah. I want to tell you one of Avram's big secrets. Reb Shamshafal Hirsch says such beautiful stuff. I should bring it in, read it word to word. Avram Avinu's life was a different style. Avram Avinu didn't live, and they lived happily ever after. Nachas von the Kinder, on the Parnusse, on the relationships, also get that's not what you came here for. You know, the Paliyot says, you came here just to marry off your kids and be ashamed to eat. Motav lo shaloi nevra. You know, that's not what you're here for. You got it all wrong. Zokte sameach and tzemach is the same word, Rabbeinu Hirsch. You know, who said it? The Chazon Ish said, there's not a big enough Gan Eden for Reb Shamshafal Hirsch. Who said that? You heard this, no? That's what they say. From the Gresta said on him. You know, Hirsch was not shaykh. There's no words to describe Shamshafal Hirsch. He's sitting there in Olam Haba. Is he having a blast? He fought the reform. He's a Heiliger Mensch. He was a mechutin with my Zayda Tedesco. Anyway, what does he say? Avram Avinu came to this world. The worst, there's no such thing as bad. He says it. He wants, his desire is the present matzav. That's my desire, is to what's happening. I forgot the lashon. It's a beautiful lashon. Like some people, they want what the matzav is. That's what I want, you know. Oh, beautiful. There you go. I want what I want. It won't be what I want. I want what it'll be. That's the way Yid has to live. You're here to grow. You'll grow. When people hear about growth, okay, please. You're going to steig. Please. Just leave that steiging out of here. Right now, I can't get my kid into a school. You want to hear what they're calling me up all day about? 24/7? I can't make, right now I can't get, right now at my house, they're kicking me out of the house. Never. Give them all a bracha. And right now, this isn't working. Right now, Avram Avinu wasn't looking that it should work. It was looking, I'm being tested 24/7. Am I passing that test? Am I passing this test? Am I growing? Am I steiging or not? The worst thing didn't bother him. Rabbeinu Hirsch says that. It didn't bother him. So who cares? That's why Kachnas Bindchas Yichidcha. He's not impressed with, I'm here to the Ayman test. Now, he was now, when I saw this, I says, what's this Novandic business? Hirsch sounds exactly like Novandic. Exactly the same. It's not a Shita, Novandic, so many interesting people. Hirsch says the exact. He puts it in a nutshell, the whole Novandic is Shita. That's why Novandic is, they say, Shabbos table. What's Shabbos all about? So, in the Welt, what's Shabbos all about? The little kinderlach are supposed to say nice pietala, and your mommy's supposed to make kugel, and Tati's supposed to sing Zmiris, and everyone dressed in Shabbos, and daven Geshmak, and singing hoo-wah, with Torah, with Zmiris, and sit and learn a base. That's Shabbos, Gavaldik. It's not true. Not Novandic. What's Shabbos in Novandic? When the wine, when Beryl spills the wine right all over mommy's dress, how did you react? That's Shabbos. How did you react? Good or bad? That the whole Shabbos. Or when you couldn't sleep and you got kvetchy, you get a little less kvetchy than you usually are, or not. And when they woke you up, and when your wife screamed at you, or your husband screamed at you, or when at least the ice cream wasn't exactly the flavor that you wanted. What, I'm joking. What? How are you going to deal? My other knows me. Let me have some ice cream. 1 second. Add a breath on this. Let me eat an ice cream. Let me eat an ice cream if I say. Sehr good. The Abish, The Eibishter created ice cream. Ain't Kleinigkeit. I told the kids in my class. Eibishter made ice cream. You don't appreciate that? How many people appreciate the fact that I'm so spoiled from ice cream? I'm spoiled from goose. I'm spoiled from Rabbi Golombek. I'm spoiled from Rabbi Yaffe, Rabbi Burstein, Rabbi Kanarik. I'm spoiled from Rabbi Wiener, from all these holy Jews. It's a beautiful world that he made. By the way, 12 years ago, I was on a telephone with a woman who calls me up. She's there 12 years ago, I'm on the telephone, and the woman tells me that whatever it was, when I got off the phone, I want a bracha, Rabbi Mendel. I want another kid. How many kids do you have? So far, 12. This happened 12 years ago. The woman lives in Venezuela. My kids all want more children in the family. There's only 12 kids. They want the last one that was just born a few months ago should be the middle child of the family. It's a cute story. And I gave a bracha, and I'm expecting it to happen. No problem with me. The young woman, she's only 42. In my books, Sarah was 90. You know that Sfarim speak like that? Why does the ladies go Meshuggah if they get older? And nowadays, there's a lot of stories. I have a friend of mine, his wife gave birth at 59. His name is Goldberger. What? First time. 59 years old, Mazel Tov. Normal, healthy baby. 59. Mother and baby are fine. So why is everyone getting excited? I gave a bracha, watch what happens. Anyway, but before I got off the phone, no, it's okay. That was my prat. To eat in public is a big prat. Not so simple for a guy like me. I'm not supposed to eat anymore. I'm a malach. No more eating. I was at a chasana last night. I come there, and you see, here's a seat. Doesn't someone just finish his stuff? He ate it. Was an yeah, but it's okay. No one's eating it. And I'm saying, okay, but I see there's no food for me. That's fine. So I say, I head for the pickle. That's all I really want. Schnapps, a pickle. I head for the pickle. I take a pickle. I take a bite. Then I schmooze around. Come back for another bite. And another guy started distracting me. I says, Entschuldig, a halt mitten pickle. Halt mitten pickle. I'm in the middle of the pickle. That's all I ate, except for some wine. All I ate was the pickle because my wife's food comes first. I have to eat by them. First of all, just because everyone's eating, got to eat another time. You're not yet. But I was once at a chasana with a wine krantz. I was schmoozing with him. And he slept me along in Barpak. I'm Sigerach Hasidim, one of these chasanas that they know how to do it, doesn't cost them a penny. It doesn't look like they're on the ball, mishigoyim everybody. The chasanas, it looked like it was very small, and there's one guy had a band. I don't even know if there was a guy there. Just pressed the button and the machine, and it was good. It was beautiful, and it was a great. It didn't have it was a little small place in Borough Park, and he told me to come along. First, it was interesting. He says, come eat. Now he ordered a second bowl of soup. I held that was a prat. He did something else that I'm not going to say in public, which I held was also a prat. But that he ordered another bowl and says, "Go eat." Now, I was worried. He was like, "Go eat," Go eat. KS. Don't bother me. He was like, Navadig is like, relax. Go to see her. But I don't know the chassan. I don't know who you have to know. Each guy thinks you're from the other side. I've done that. I plunged it into a chassan knowing nobody. And everybody Oh. I didn't know his soul. Oh. I didn't know that he had. Yeah. It's good. I made myself comfortable. You go eat, You go inside. Hey, excuse me. You left me out. Tell the waiter. You forgot. Novanik is a very big at them. Shul Shnei came to Lakewood. He didn't know a word of Yiddish, a word of English, a word of nothing. All he knows is Hebrew. And he comes in, and he's a Sephardi. First, he was never an American in his life. And I left him by the alumni area. I met them all. Because I came back, he came half an hour later to pick him up. He says, what'd you do in this half hour? He says, he went upstairs. He saw there was a Sheva Brachas. So he goes right over to the Bali Simcha. He introduces himself. And he says, you want to hear a speech? Yeah. And he made a speech in front of everybody. First day in America. He doesn't know a word of English, word of Yiddish, nothing. In Hebrew. He made himself a speech. He drank l'chaim with everybody there. His first day, he's not, this is America. It's a different country, different. Watch what you're doing. Novanik is no. It's sadna, diara, chadhu. It's all the same. I met a group of Spanish guys. A Spanish guy, the same kind of type of cover that we do. So he's a Spanish type of kinna and taiva and covered. There's a Russian type. We're all the same boat. People look at, Rabbi Miller says, this guy's somewhere in one of these islands way out in the Pacific, some of these crazy places for a vacation. And he's riding a cart home, and there's one of these mosquitoes from this way out tropical places stings him right here, and the blood's coming down, out, and he writes a postcard, wish you were here. Yeah, right. Rabbi Bella. It makes a chayzik vacation, because they build up everything. Oh, it's okay, you can take a vacation. But where am I holding? I says, I have 12 kids. I says, I apologize I didn't stand up for you. A woman with 12 kids. She's a joke? Not in my books. Far from a joke. I had a guy sitting right here with his wife. Whatever. What are you doing? A simple guy. Running a car. Yeah. How many years? 20 years. I stopped. You're running 20 years in Cairo? And you're not walking around like feeling, like, wow. 20 years in Cairo. People have no appreciation of themselves. They have no appreciation. Wow. It's a mess mitzvah. Come inside. The crones are here. The best, the sweetest guys have arrived. And come inside. Everyone here is sweet. L'chaim. No much. Anyway, you don't appreciate yourself. A malamed was nifta. You should have a lichtig. You know what a malamed is? You know what a malamed is? I know those guys. A malamed? You know how hailig a malamed is? It's not a joke. A guy 20 years, 30 years, 40 years a malamed. A ben Taira. Oh, the best of them. A guy wandering around, going nowhere in his life, and getting no jobs, and no popularity. He's way ahead of everyone else. Don't look for trouble. About Bal Yisurim, how big he is. People have no chivas for anything. Everything's, why not? By the way, they were talking about, when they talk about or speak about a certain Adam Gadol, how great he is, and he's this and he's that. And I said, I'm also pretty decent. And I started talking about myself. You know how good I am? You don't know nothing. I tell you, my Adam called me years ago. He said, what I heard about you? I said, don't believe a word. I'm much better than whatever you heard about me. But I'm a gewaltige guy. I'm a tzaddik. I'm an oivid. I'm an ehrlicher mensch. By the way, I don't know what you guys think of this, but by me, I try means big time. In my books, I don't care what you guys think. In my books, I tried this. I would like to finish Shas. I would like to be holding more in this madrega. I would like to have Ruach HaKodesh. And I'd like to have Giluyot. Now, nobody believes me. They all hold I had it a long time ago. So, anyway. But it's okay. I'd like not to have so much honor from the cover that I'm getting. You know, I'd like that big by me. It's big. Well, it's not like that. But I started raving over what a great guy I am. You know how fantastic I am? You know what I toy for Klal Yisrael? You have no idea how big I am. The Elam has no idea. So everyone laughs when I do that stuff. I have a kasha. It says a chayvel b'yatzmai is worse than a chayvel in someone else. Right? It's a kabbalah. You can't damage your body. You have no right to do that. It's an aveira. Chayvel b'yatzmai. It's worse than doing it to someone else. Chayvel says a suicide is worse than a murderer. Yourself? You jump? You have an achrayus. You go first. Your life? You dare not do that. You dare not puncture yourself or whatever you hurt yourself. Chayvel b'yatzmai is worse than chayvel other people. Killing is worse. So I see everybody I know, that guy's a masmid. You see the way they talk? He's unusual. He's a Matsuyan, this guy. And that guy, they always talk about everyone else. I say, did you ever talk about yourself? Okay, come on, don't, that's not. Talk about him. But me, what do you mean? What about you? Would you ever have chayecha kaidman? You have a chiyuv to recognize your own greatness first. What are you reading books about all the tzaddik yador? What about you? Why don't you write a book about yourself? Now I want to tell you something. Somebody came over to me and started telling me shvachas about a big gadol. So I told him, I'm in the middle of being Meshabeich myself. It's bittul shvachatzmi. You know, it's bittul. You know, bittul Torah. You ever hear bittul Torah? You don't be mavatul me. It's bittul shvachatzmi. I want to tell you something. If people would really, really, really do that and be done themselves lekapschus, the Breslov say constantly be done yourself lekapschus. You have it in life. It's so hard. It's a proof. It's a truth. It's so hard to do that stuff. Be done. Your Yehoshua is out to kill. He's out to put you down. Is he going to war? He'll get you on the rebound. Yeah, this. But now I really got you. Didn't have there. That's awesome. You know what Chazal say about this? What you just did now? You just got angry. Rav Nosson said you lost your whole neshama. You know what that is? You know what this is? That's real. Now I'm telling you, I mention this quite often about how the Germans lost World War II. They lost it in two battlefronts. They lost it in Egypt, and they lost it in France. In France, they didn't concentrate their efforts on Normandy, which was the main battlefront. And that's where they lost, because they focused their energies in the wrong battle. And in El Alamein, which is Egypt, they were involved in a different place, but according to their spies were off the wall, and they were tricked. Eibishter took care of them. They focused the wrong place, they lost the war. Your battle, number one battle today. First of all, the ideal is learning, don't look for trouble. If you can do that, and everything's working. I don't look to complicate life. It's not so easy for everybody to learn Mussar so much. But so many of us. The main battle is, I'm a great guy. And don't you dare tell me different. And the more you feel different, the more it's a proof that you're gewaldig. I don't care what the Welt says. Yeah, but people look at me like a nebuch, or I'm a quiet guy. I don't have a person. I'm not really such a masbid. I don't really understand the sugya. I don't really treat my wife the way I should. Even the kids say I'm not so this. And even that, you got millions of negative messages. And I saw the Shavashavan. Don't believe one of them. Not one. But this is really, no. Don't be frum. You know what they did in Slobodka? You want to take a Turas Musa? I have it right here. Now, in Slobodka, they could do the worst Averis in the world, and it didn't mean a thing. Why is that? That's why Slobodka produced all the Gedolei Yisrael. Come inside, make yourself at home. Everybody's welcome. The more covered, the better. Come, push, the Rebbe has to be out of the way. The Rebbe, push the Rick the Tish. But I said, Rick the Tish. I need room for my gabayim also. Very expensive gabayim. I don't recommend you come to me these days. My gabayim are starting to pocket. They're starting to get smart. You got a big rabbi here. Let's cash in. I'm joking. Anyway, what was I talking about? Where am I up to now? Anyway, who? Slabodke, Reb Aaron, Reb Yaakov, Reb Ruderman. You know what they produced in Slabodke? All the Gdoli Yisrael, B'chetzkel Sarn, and Slabodke made it. He turned around Gans Klal Yisrael, the whole Torah world. Thanks to him, by the way. If you know the history, owes them everything. The mayor owed them everything. He sent his Reb Lezer Yudel. You know what they said? When he made a shidduch with his son, Reb Lezer Yudel, and Reb Baruch Kamei, the Rav of the mayor, that was chessmate. Shachmat. Checkmate on Mir, you're finished. I'm taking over. The Alta brought Musar into Mir. As soon as he got his man, his own son, who was a Matsuyan, he married the Rav of Mir's daughter. He said it was a political move. He wanted to get the Mir into Musar. If you weren't into Musar, it was over. It was over. That was the matzah of those days. And as soon as he got his son in there, so he doesn't come alone. From Slabodke, he brings all his buddies. And they make it a big takeover. And they turn Mir into a Musar yeshiva. Or they had their own style. Then they got Rebbe Yerucham in there. The whole Mir is thanks to the Alta Slabodke. And the hotels, if you know the history, he turned over the whole Torah world. Thank the Alta Slabodke who had a shita. You did an Aveira? It never happened. I did an Aveira. It's going to drown you. Your Aveiras drown your whole productivity. I heard this from the Talmud of Branovich. And the Mashgiach of Branovich was an Novhardok who was B'Sol Yaakov Luchansky, and he kept telling me, Shur Meirah, get out of the mud. What are you putting it? So I did an Aveira. I have no time for that. You know what the Kosker Rebbe said? Ich will nicht meine Talmidim soll nicht tun kein Aveiras. Ich will meine Talmidim soll nicht tun kein Zeit zu tun Aveiras. Who has time to get involved with Aveiras? It's going to kill you. It's going to get you. Matzumtzum, I did this. You could turn over the world. You know who you are. There's so much talent that you don't even know about. Go out there and do something. First thing is hold from yourself. That's Aleph. Now I'm going to tell you, I've been writing. This hafla of a fella. This happened to me several years ago. I had a Talmud in my class. Nice kid, a little bit jumpy, a little. Vahi hayan. A fellow Malamed told me, that kid, he's going to dance on you. He didn't mean any bad. This guy's going to drive you up a wall, and he's going to drive you crazy. As soon as he said that, my opinion of that boy went down, and he immediately started acting like that. On the same day. I never had that before, Daddy. I saw there was a little bit, but it wasn't so terrible. You know what words can do? You say, you do it, the thoughts. You think of a person, a negative thought. You're killing him without saying anything. Don't do that stuff. You know what you can do if you praise somebody? You know, you can build a Rav Hutna. Used to be non-stop praising. I remember once somebody was learning Beinas Manim. He was learning by himself, and Chaim Berlin, the place was empty, and he was learning. Rav Hutna came up with his chevra, and he takes a look, he's learning. Jetzt lernst du Eichet Chaim! And Chaim blushed. Rav Hutna was loaded. Compliments. People are stingy. Compliment. Lay it on thick. Compliment. You got to compliment. But I believe, compliment yourself. I'm not supposed from nobody. It's so hard. That's the truth. But you got to be so keen. Give yourself a stempel. I tell everybody. Write in your notes. I am the star of my family. I'm the Pe'er of the Weinbergs. I don't care what anybody thinks. My big sister's really, my brother's the one that's this. Nah, don't give me that garbage. I am the star of the family. I hold everyone should do that. And if your brother does it, it's fine. You don't have to look at his notes. And he doesn't have to look at your notes. But you have to hold, you own the world. I know people who do these things that with time, miraculous things happen. There was little notes. I have stories of my notes. I just wrote something. And the next day, it came true. Like, hey, I was just kidding. You don't know the power of words. And you have a power. Once I had a very, very serious matzav. And I was mamish like, I really blew it. I did something wrong. And I wanted to kvetch to the Eibishter. Instead of kvetching, I started saying, I know it's going to be a Yeshua Gedola. And I kept saying it. I took a ride to the lake. And I spent an hour saying how good everything is instead of kvetching. I came home. There was a major turnaround in the whole situation. Whatever happened, somebody was supposed to come. And if he would have come at a certain time, it would have turned around the whole whatever. And I just went, and whatever. And I just, thanks a lot. And I'm so happy everything's working out. As soon as I came home, I got the message. He just changed his plans. Like, as soon as you talk positive. Now, Rabbi said, this is very, very, very important. I have seen Bata Midrashim. Somebody made a remark about a certain base medrash. They're a little, not so this, not so whatever. I have witnessed, I used to do that too. Oh, those guys, yeah. Oh, they're making a base medrash. They think they own the world. Whatever you have on them. You hear this? Or they're not the real thing. Or they're this, they're that. You know how many times there's a certain base medrash that the big shots, or they're this, they're to this, they're to that, they're not. I come to that base medrash years later. The Shechina is in that base medrash. I noticed it. Something's going on. They got a chashuv rav. I don't know what happened. I felt it. Give a guy a chance. There's an out-of-town community that I was offered a job there to go there. I wouldn't go there for a million years because whatever. And I came there years later. I was so spoiled. I saw Balabatim speaking and learning and harving. And I saw Sajir Shemayim. I saw the places. Give them a chance. Never look down at anybody. Give them a chance. Have savlanas. Let them grow up. So he bought himself a house that's not so, okay, maybe it's takis, I'm not, whatever it is. Give the guy a chance to grow up. See, he acts a little funny. And says the mashkiach of Malikud, give yourself a chance too. Have savlanas with yourself. I'll grow out of it. Rabbi said, I'm only 85 and a half. There's plenty of hope for me. I'm joking. But that part I'm not joking. There's hope. Remember the Mashkiach Zatzal, he told me he's looking forward to his 60th birthday that he's going to start. Now we're going to start moving. Age is no factor. Always be positive. Give yourself a chance. Let people grow out of it. Some of these people, he's a real American, this. Leave a guy alone. You know what's going on in him? I'm not telling you to go do things that maybe aren't so right. I don't know. But I don't get involved in you don't know. You know nothing about anybody. But he acts so crazy. He's too firm. Leave him alone. You know where he's coming from? Come inside. They didn't need you up yet? Come on. Anyway. Any room? No room? Okay. Anyway. So you got to give people a chance to grow out of the mishigasin, to get older, and give yourself a chance. Shlomo Freifel once told me this. You have to have a... I'm trying to read my handwriting over here. I don't know why I started writing. I'll tell you, I was writing this. So I'm supposed to tape myself on small... I have small pieces. So for that, I wanted to know. So I wrote it down. So since I wrote it down, I have it for me. So this is the first time I have a loss from what I'm going to say. Why? Because usually I'm samach on the Eibishter. Like, and everything works. I never have to worry. This time I'm samach on the book. oh, what do I write next? What do I do next? And that's why I'm all confused. What should I say next? That's something. That's something. Sometimes not being Masuda, there's a reason I'm not telling you not to be Masuda. But if you are not Masuda, don't make away with not being Masuda. There's a Mila. You know what Rav Aaron Kreiser said about the Polish Yidden? The more not Masuda, the better. That's what he said. The more tzotobel, the better. There's a certain Rebbe, everybody knows, when the Rebbe says, Tish is starting at 12 o'clock, no one even dreams of walking in before 2. That's the way. I'd rather don't do well with that stuff. But it's fine. If you're not Masuda, anything wrong with you, there's a positive side to it. Don't be Nispal. So I'm not Masuda. I'll tell you the famous story. It must be it. I was caught on the road. It was dark, and I had a flat tire, and I don't have a car. I don't have a telephone. So I'm knocking on doors. Goyim, the strange place. Knock on doors. Can I use the telephone? Excuse me. No. Answer is no. Next door. Can I use the telephone? I have a flat tire. No. And I kept going door to door. Nobody wants to let me in. I don't blame him. And nowadays, who knows this guy with a white beard? Maybe he's Bin Laden's cousin. Since Bin Laden, I want to tell you, before Bin Laden came, they used to check my wife 10 times over, and me, they let me go right away. When by the plane, when they check you out, my wife used to get checked 10 times, and me, I would go right after the Bin Laden mice, it reversed. My wife, you can go, oh, this guy, okay. let's check him out. A guy with a beard, uh-oh. What's going on here? You going to blow up? What's coming up next? Bin Laden killed all the beards. Whatever a beard was worth, thanks to Bin Laden, it ain't worth much these days. Anyway, So because if you're not Masudadik, it's a good zach. Don't feel bad. Try to improve. I daven a lot. Try to improve, but if you're not Masudadik, what's so terrible? Has a mila. Oh, so these people, so finally, I knocked on the door. I figured, I made a cheshbon. None of these guys want to let me in, because they're nice and neat, organized, the lawn is done well, and everything is neat, nice fence, whatever. This guy looks like a slob. One guy looked like a slob. I figured, let me try him. He doesn't seem to care too much. There's cinder blocks floating around. There's a broken bike on the lawn. Take my stuff. And he's asking, what's his name? Oil Pestle is going to put out this. Help him out if you want to take one of these. They're in the boxes. Take all the boxes. The plots. Room for everybody. Anyway, so I see this guy looks like a shlamazel. I figured a shlamazel is not going to be like one of those, I'm not going to do it. Can I use your phone? Sure. You see that? The guy that's everything has a mila. Everything, always see the tzad mila, whatever's going on in your life. Now, when I walk into a store, what I usually do is, first of all, I want you to know, everything is up to you. There's everything is up to your emuna. It's up to you. Now, it's the week of Chayesara. Years ago, I used to take a week like this, Shidduchim. And I used to learn the parasha Shidduchim. And things used to happen. It's Shidduchim. It's up to you. I made it. It's up. Now, I once on Tishpeb, I held Tishpeb. There was a serious Shalom Bayis situation taking place. And I says, Eibishter, those Kruvim on Tishpeb, all the time the Kruvim used to look at each other to show Hashem loves us. 40 years before the Churban Beis HaMikdash, they turned away to show Hashem was upset, expect the Churban. On Tishpeb, they went back. They hugged each other, which never happened before. So, that's Chazal. So I says, Eibishter, today's Tishpeb. Make this husband and wife who were killing each other, and that day there was a Yeshua in that area. And that was my Mephis. Why? Because I believe that Tishpeb is a good day. I decided it's good. You want to hear a story? True story? This lady, she had a baby who was born. And the baby never stopped crying since the day he was born. And they went to all the doctors and they couldn't figure out. There's no reason. And the kid crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. And it's weeks and weeks the parents are going out of their minds and they're starting to get angry at the kid. You know, this kid, you can't live with him. And finally the mother's walking in the street. Kaptarano! Mother's walking in the street. Come on, let me push again. Makes a good impression. My second push. My second push. Okay. See you guys? You know what's going on here? I'm a popular guy. Ooh. Come inside. What's a popular guy? Popular guy's a dimion. A popular dimion. You have to be a popular guy. Where does that say? Where does it say? You know, Rabbi Miller speaks about extrovertism. He makes a joke out of it. You know that? In this world, if you're outgoing, teenage girls, I once saw a book, how to get teenage girls to be more outgoing. You know, I heard in Novhardok, my daughter was, I'm talking about Shidduchim, Hishketa Tov. Rabbi cries to try to read me Shidduchim for my daughters. And he had this bacher that never opened his mouth. And he says, this is a good bacher. It's like, still, they didn't. This is an American thing. Everybody got to be a blabbermouth, unless you're in Novhardok. That's different. It's a whole shita. Come inside, Rabbi Isaac. But every development makes you sugar. It's all covered. Everyone's looking for covered. You have to be outgoing. And you have to talk a lot. What's wrong if you're a quiet guy? Where does it say? You shouldn't be a quiet guy. By the way, I'll tell you something about the noisy guys. They're nechsel and einas dvarim in kas. In Gaiva, oh, they think they own the world because they have a personality. Okay, don't look down at all the loudmouths. I'm pretty loud myself, so I'm going to kind of push down. But if a guy is not loud, he has so much more kedusha. You know that? People who are quiet, how many Averas they're not doing because they're the quiet type? Stay like that. Unless you're coming to Novhardok. There's a whole program to bring you out. All right. Whatever the matzav is, you have to hold. That's the best thing in the world. You have to be satisfied. Where was I?
Baby that was crying.
Oh, baby's crying. Great. So the baby's crying, and the father and the mother are climbing the walls. How do you get this kid to stop crying? You ready for this one? The mother's walking in the street, and she sees a blettel of a chumash. She says, oh. I think she was a Sephardi lady in Yerushalayim. I think this happened. Ribono shel olam, zeh hadaf me'atanach, zeh yatzil et haben shel. This is going to do the job. She goes over to the blettel, puts it under the pillow. The baby stops, and it was over. The father comes home a few hours later, and he says, "What'd you do? What happened?" She says, "I took a daf from the chumash. I found it in the street, a ripped out page, and I picked it up. I said, Ribono shel olam, and I stuck it under the pillow, and there it is." So the father said, "I got to see that daf." And he takes out the daf. It was the teichacha. If you don't be good, Hashem will punish you. Will give you all tzaris. You wake up shaking up and down. That page saved her kid's life. Because she believed it's going to save, it's going to work. I don't care what you believe. You believe it's going to work. The cat in the well. Famous Gemara. Chazal. Cat in the well. They believed in the cat in the well. Boom. Go to Misa. The boy and the girl. You know what I said? Whatever you believe. So it's up to you. You could make yourself a mammon. I believe that a Musa Seder that I have no hergish of bטחון works, it's going to work. But you got to keep working on believing. It's sometimes you'll see instant results. I have stories and stories. I believe in a small tefillah without any kavanah works. I believe it works. I had a few cases. I just barely opened my mouth. And boom, I had a Yeshua. It's hard because the Yitzhar is, no, you got to go 40 days to the Kessel to get this and get that. You can get what it's up to you. You make yourself a tumim. Be mispal. Eibishter, be mispal. Be mispal to the Rabbeinu Shalom. Help me be a tumim. The best thing in the world is be tmimis. So you get smart. You mess up. You get to bed. It might not work. And I did something bad the other day. Your virus will mess you up. Yain horror. I did something bad, man. I want to tell you something. I have a sefer on Bטחון. It's called, I forget what it's called. Hashem, something like that. The sefer is packed with everybody's in there. Every Rishon, Achron, Chazal, Sfardim, everybody's in there. Shemamunim, the Novhardok, Rav Desla, everyone's in there. Sefer Chachma Musaf from Antabi, big Sfardish Gadol, and the Mener Samach Amoyer is in there. Sefer Ikram is in there. The Maspik, the Rambam Son is in there. The Chavos is in there. Ramban is in there. Chazal's galore. Everyone's packed into that sefer, and many of them are Tzalikat. There's Bresov in there. The Gra, the small likutim of what he wrote. Somebody wrote only one page on Bטחון, so they put it in there. Come out every single sefer. If he writes anything about Bטחון, the first thing he says is Afilu Rasha B'Teah B'Shem Chesed Yisayvenu. That's number one. That is the number one Yisoid. You could be the bum's bum, and you're going to get the biggest mileage in the world. I made a diak. Afilu Rasha B'Teah B'Shem Chesed Yisayvenu. You're going to be surrounded with chesed. The worst bum. Forget about your Averis. It will not make a difference this much. You'll get anything you want. I don't care who you are. I told you about Jose. You know the story about Jose? You heard? You heard about Jose? The Elam heard about Jose already? We had two shkatzim that worked in YTT. One's name was Balshazzar. So anyway, okay, let's. Jose had to get rid of his drinking problem. He was going to go into the garbage can, and he couldn't control himself. He was addicted. Mamisha, not stop. So he told me the story, Jose. And one day I says, God, I can't do this myself, God. He comes from Honduras. God, you're the only one who can help me. The next day, Jose's walking in the street, and suddenly someone taps him on the shoulder. Jose, Alcoholics Anonymous, one of these clubs, they cure you like this, and the rest is history. So I say, a guy could do that. And I know a guy in Kedusha had problems. Nothing helped. He used to beg Hashem. He had trouble with Shemir Seinayim. He couldn't control himself. And he used to daven and daven. Same guy. Until one day he says, Eibishter, the Mullah Kodesh Baruch Hu, you have to get involved. And from that day on, boom, a new person. You got to know what to say. Listen to me, everybody say. Ask the Eibishter, what should I say to get what I want? Keep asking. I just did it today. I need money. I need money for my Bטחון. They're on my case from all sides. So I don't go to people. Forget it. So, and I always get the money. It's not a joke. It's going on for years. I always get the money. I never. So today I need money. A guy comes about like an hour after. But I asked stock. I said, hey, this is really out of hand. This is too much. Because I'm getting it from three sides. I have Bטחון Kailan also. I got three of them that are on my case. It's less money, but it's still. You're getting the money yet? They call me every day. You owe me $400. You owe me $200. You owe me this. And starting a new Kailan. And the other guy wants $10,000. You hold up at 10,000. Oh yeah, okay. And this other guy, I just gave him last week $800, which is a chiddush. She was waiting till Mashiach. The kid says, the guy stops an hour after I asked Hashem, and I asked him this is no good. I can't deal with this. It's getting on my nerves. And what kind of time? The guy needs his money. I don't chop this. It's very hard for me. I really can't deal with it. And I kept saying it. An hour later, a guy knocks on my window, pulling out of, I daven by the Coventry. The guy knocks on the door. He says, how much does it cost to sponsor it? I told him, I'm giving you $800. So, okay, what, you want cash? Yes, I do. Well, I don't have it now, but in a week and a half you'll have it. When he left, I says, hey, mister, I didn't ask for that. Let's see what happens. I'll be all right. Maybe still hope. But anyway, you gotta learn. Avram Avinu was Hamachasani me Avram. Maybe she said, and Avram started. He wants you to tighten his as if you're a ganze knaka. You have to be in action because you have so much power you don't even know about. You have so much power. Human being is a chelik elikami mal. Nitzchuni banai. Hashem likes it. You won. What is the last words in the Torah? It says that he smashed the luchos, and David said, it was his own idea, Moshe Rabbeinu. Going against the Abish, your own ideas you're making up. And David says, he was maskim. I like Yashikachach. I'm glad what you did. The Mama Leah, she fought the world. The Abish said she was supposed to marry Yosef. Davin, and it will turn around the world. A human being is a powerhouse. Now, the way to do it, by the way, Rabbaran, someone just showed me today. Rabbaran says in Mishas Rabbaran, I think he says that the mitzvah is Amuna, but it has to be a metzias, so it became tefillah. Tefillah, it's actually the real mitzvah, but you have to make it real, so it's tefillah. Now, I would like to say, David HaMelech didn't say, this is a plug against bטחון. I rarely do this because I'm pushing always bטחון. I'm not so tefillah-dik as I'm bטחון-dik. But my Rebbe taught me you got to do both. And I want to put a plug on tefillah. David HaMelech said, Bani sefila. I am one shtick tefillah. That's what he said about. All I do is daven my head off all day long. Daven! Don't stop davening. I once had a serious problem that was going nowhere, and I called him Shimshon Pinkus, and I really was losing. I was losing a matzah I don't want to talk about. Very, very bad. I was a failure. And Shimshon Pinkus told me on the telephone, don't stop. Don't stop. I got off the phone, and I got moving, and I turned around the whole matzah. I made Nishim Guliyim. Don't stop. Keep davening, daven. What did Mashkiach Hamnasan tell me? Let's stop the tata, I'll get the tata. Don't let the Abish be in action yet. Keep davening, action. You know what schus it is to be in action? Don't stop the schus. I'm not impressed. But you see it's not working. He said, not impressed. But Avram Avinu, lesson of Avram Avinu is Sablonis. 100 years he has to wait. That's the beginning of everything. Sablonis. Remember the lesson. And he came out ahead of everybody. He got Ganz Klal Yisrael. It's worth the wait. Were we worth the wait? 1,000,000%. We got it all. Wait. So you don't get it right away. But rather, I do. Usually, someone just called me up right after I gave him a bracha, boom. So I says, I do these things. I tell him, look, in this jet age, this day and age, where we have fast food restaurants and quickies, everything is like, we got to press a button, boom. So I'd like the tefillah also to work like that. And very often I get whatever I want. Instant. But sometimes Abishta wants us to wait. And sometimes he wants us to accept. And what accepting is delicious. As long as you're growing. But you can, to daven, so I say like this, the best way to go. This is go do it. Do it like this. Somebody just called me up, a very sad matzav, a physical, and they called me up, and they It's a Shrek. And so what did they tell me? They told me that they came to me, the Baal Meifus. They were all in the hospital, They came to the Baal Meifus. They called me. I says, can you tell me, please, have you ever had any Meifsim in your life? Oh, do we had Meifsim in our lives? What are you coming to me for? You're not a big enough Baal Meifus? You have to come to me? Now, they aren't a Baal Meifus because they don't take records. You know what sticks in their brains? All the failures. That's why they're so like this. You sit down and write down every single time you had a Yeshua, and write how scared, stiff, and worried you were before, and how impossible. I just told the story today to be mechazik somebody. I went to the doctor. They found. I spoke to a big chayla mesuk in Nebuch. They should have a ganzi Yeshua. I read him muskim. You know what they told me. I went to Chemed, and Chemed showed me. You know what you have. You know what you have, and he showed me I don't want to say the names of all these diseases. You have a Shia es amecho uvarach es nachosecho ein benasim ad olam. You have this. You have the blood test. Take a look at it. You have this. You are positive. Remember the guy on the telephone. Oh, we got back the results. Oh, you got it. I don't know if they should train guys how to break the news a little bit more. Edelkeit. I don't know, but what's the point of a guy do? He's a from guy. And you have this, and you have that, and you have this, and you have that. And you're messed up from olive till tough. You're dead meat, And he didn't say that, but he was beyond scary. So I went to my regular doctor, and I brought him I remember I was in Gehenna. Do I have to thank Hashem? I'm out of the woods, completely out of the woods. And Baruch Hashem, I went to the doctor, my regular doctor. He's Yirei Shemayim. And I told him, here are the records. He says, don't worry, you had an infection. So these things show up. You'll be fine. And he gave me some antibiotics. You'll be okay. And so he gives me the antibiotics. And he says, wait. And I'm harving on bטחון. Got worse. And I'm going out. You should know, I couldn't get out of the bathtub. I didn't have kaiches. I was a mess. I couldn't open a can. I had streaks of red. I wrote it down once. It's kedai to write down. That's the thing. Because you forget like it never happened, and you lost it. You blew it. You can steig from a story. Wait till you hear the end of the stories in Shayach. So I went, he sent me this doctor. Finally, he told me, I forbid you to look at any information on this disease. It's going to kill you. When you see what this disease can cause, what you're going to look like, you have to, just don't look at anything. Okay, so I didn't look. It was bad enough without looking. I had so many symptoms, excruciating pain. I couldn't drive the car. I was turning into a basket case. And all the tests proved you got it, and you're stuck for the rest of your life. There's no cure. You're finished, and it's over. The pharmacist echoed it, and the doctors, one after another. So I went to the biggest guy in the state, a specialist. He is a frum Jew, a modern type, a very sweet guy, a big, he's the biggest. And he wanted to give me some steroids that cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Each pill that you got to take. And he says, I can't even tell you the price because it's just way too much. And is it going to work? But I says, Doc, can I heal myself with my mind and my bטחון? That, by far, is the best way to go. That was the end. The rest is history. I sat and I heard it on bטחון. And every time I had pain, cut it out. I know you want to make an impression on everybody that you're sick. You like to be sick because things are bothering you. You're like, cop the baloney, you're not sick, you never were, you're looking for trouble. And I took out my notes of how many Yeshuas I had in the past. And I sat hours, it took me a month. I'm cured. had pain in this. I was the only thing that stayed, and about 5 months ago that now it's nucky. Years ago, this Misa. I got rid of the whole Misa by screaming at myself, you good for nothing, phony. You like to make, but it shows on the test, yeah, because you want it, and mail it shows on the test. And I have a Kabbalah, 2 things. First of all, Rabbi told me many times, Bטחון is better than an operation. He kept hacking me, no, yes, it has to work. But I learned Musa for hours. So learn another hour. They're not impressed in Novhardok. Learn another hour. You can do anything. Like Rabbi Yishnei from Novhardok, he had it with his liver. He had terrible problems with his liver. He was sick for years. He used to beg me. He was in pain. I mean, and suddenly one day, he looked 10 years younger. What happened this year? You're like a new person. Asiti bטחון. I figured he's 87. I figured, what do you mean he's bטחון? Is he okay? I spoke to his brother. Brother's he's a with it guy. He says, what do you do? Wasa bטחון. Sit down. But they work. Bטחון has to work. If your mind is positive, it has to work. Now look, it's hard. It's too hard. I was spelled today about it. And I said, how do you do bטחון? You might listen. What I recommend. This is what I'm doing. Take out all those insert fillers, and all make notes and notes and notes and notes, and you prove yourself to be such a Baal Mifus. You prove you're almost as big as Mendel, right? You're such a Baal Mifus. And then you realize who you are. And then you'll daven. It's different davening. It's davening mitoich bטחון. The Ramchal says, tefillah mitoich bטחון is no mekatrigin. Tefillah, you're going to daven with a feeling.